Hey there, it's Carly from Literacy with Carly. I'm going to be talking about one of the most powerful and low prep activities you can use to boost children's reading and spelling skills. Sentence dictation. So what is sentence dictation? Dictation is where the teacher tells the student what they're going to spell, whether it's sound dictation, where they're writing an individual letter or letters that represent a sound, or it's word dictation, which is what you normally see in the classroom as their spelling instruction. The teacher says a word and the students must spell that word in isolation. And then there's sentence dictation. Sentence dictation is where the teacher says a sentence and the students are expected to spell the entire sentence. And these sentences are meant to include concepts that the students have recently been taught. If you're teaching phonics and you're including your standard spelling test for the week, but students are still not applying it in their writing, this is your missing piece. Sentence dictation bridges the gap between the phonics instruction and the students' independent writing. Think about it this way. When we're teaching kids to learn to decode and read words, we want them to read them in isolation to practice and then apply it to a decodable text. So the same should be for spelling. We want to have kids practice spelling words in isolation, but then apply it in written context. There are many tips and strategies that you can include when you're implementing dictation of sentences to help support early and struggling learners. But first, I'm just going to go over the simple steps you can use to implement sentence dictation into your instruction tomorrow. Step 1. Simply say the sentence out loud in a natural way and have the students repeat the sentence after you. Step 2. Say the sentence again while encouraging the students to count the number of words in the sentence with you. And step 3, encourage the students to write the sentence. I simply take my finger and point it down like it's towards the paper so the students know it is now their turn to write. These 3 simple steps are perfect as is for upper elementary, say 3rd through 5th grade and above, to start implementing sentence dictation tomorrow. Now I'm going to share with you some amazing tips and strategies to use in these 3 steps to help support the youngest learners as young as kindergarten with being successful with sentence dictation. Tip number 1, instead of dictating a complete sentence, only dictate a phrase, 2 or 3 word phrase. This is perfect for early kindergarten when they're learning early high frequency words and CVC words. You could dictate a phrase like fat cat or the fat cat. That way, they're practicing connected text, but don't necessarily have a long sentence. Tip number 2. After you've counted how many words are in the sentence with students, you can actually draw a line for each word. This helps students see the separation of the words within the sentence. Tip number 3. You can help support early learners with breaking apart each word. For example, after you've drawn your line for each word, then you can say the first word, help the child break apart the sounds, and then have the students spell the word. Tip number 4. When you're moving on to the next word, always go back to the beginning of the sentence and restate the sentence while the child is pointing to each word. This tip really helps because they're focusing so hard on breaking apart and spelling the individual word that they need to go back and restate the sentence to remember what word is next.
Sentence is the dog is mad. Let's count the words. Ready?
The dog is mad.
How many? 4. So we're going to do 4 lines. I'm going to do the lines for you. Ready? The dog is mad. Okay. What's our first word? The. Remember how we spelled the? It's our irregular word. It's our heart word. Remember it? How do you spell it?
T-E. H. E.
Good job. The
Dog.
How do we spell dog? What are our sounds?
D. G.
Remember when I told you a D, we go our C.
At the beginning of your sentence dictation journey, it's going to be very heavily guided and supported, and they need that, so it's okay. As students become more used to the routine and more independent, you take away those scaffolds and you get to where it's just those 3 simple steps. After they're done writing the sentence, the next step is the checking procedure. Now, that's actually going to have to be a whole video on its own. But for now, just get out there and implement sentence dictation. This is a powerful tool that will help students apply, internalize, and master those concepts you've taught. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button down below and subscribe here if you'd like to see more videos to help support your phonics instruction.